So I've just come out on a little walk, and this is my road frontage here that I keep as neat as I can and planted up well. But look who's greeted me. These lovely boys. Aren't they gorgeous? These are my neighbours' cows. Well, they're heifers, I think. They're male cows. Oh, look at that lovely white one coming over. They're so beautiful. And they're curious because they're sort of equivalent to 8 or 9-year-old children, I suppose. And they're curious and friendly and sociable. Just gorgeous. Yeah, you are. You absolutely are. Gorgeous. And look at the lovely field you're in this morning. All full of lovely long grass and buttercups and gorgeous things, and all the trees down there as well. I think actually, talking about the trees, if you look over there, that would have been a little homestead. Wherever you find old trees like that grouped together on the land, you'll invariably find some stone buildings, which of course indicates an old cottage, an old homestead. It's a beautiful day, lots and lots of clouds up there though, but the sun's getting through, which is wonderful. Yes, and you boys can go and have a little siesta now. I think it's your siesta time, isn't it? Yeah. Beautiful. Bye. So on my side of the road here, I've been putting in some more perennial plants. You can see them. They've come on quite well. I only put them in a few weeks ago. And don't have a lot of grass to mow here. It only takes me about 5 minutes. This is perhaps the biggest bit. And it's just really to keep it tidy. Because I want the best possible advertisement for what I do, which is plant trees and try to have more things growing on the land, you know. So I've got lots of perennials. Like this is Lysimachia punctata, or yellow loosestrife, which is a perennial. In fact, all of these plants along here are perennials. These are the Hypericum bushes that I grew from seed. And Hypericum is the cultivated form of St. John's wort. Beautiful big ferns there at the back. And they come up each year. And this is a lovely grass which is called Cordata fulvida. And it's a little bit like pampas grass, but it doesn't flop over. And these wonderful grassy seed heads provide food for finches during the winter. Those little birds. And this is a little bit of topiary, which I do. And the beautiful elderflower, or the elder rising up there at the back. They're still up there, look at the gate, bless them. And these are the Michaelmas daisies. So they'll have a lovely show round about September. Little birch trees and the Sestria famosa and fuchsia, beautiful fuchsia, little sycamore tree. Of course I can't let anything grow up too close to the wires, but managed to keep them fairly tamed. And this is the cotoneaster, which again is beautiful. Lots of little berries there for the birds during the winter. And so on and so forth. Some bootlear up there. about to flower. And this is a lovely Himalayan raspberry, or rubus. And then down to my gate. It does take a fair bit of pruning and tending to keep it all in shape, but that's normally only about twice a year. It's all incredibly healthy. Now you can hear the water flowing down in the stream because of course there's been so much rain, which has been lovely. It's been much needed. There's flowers coming out on the Lysestra famosa. Now this is semi-wild. It's known as the Pheasant Bush or the pheasantberry bush. And now you can see some of the trees that I planted down here by the entrance. So I've got some beautiful little sycamores and some birch. This is a little cypressa of some description. It's rather beautiful, very slimline. I'm just going to continue walking up. Then this is a cotoneaster, and as you can see, it's just flowering. And this is another cotoneaster, which flowered quite a while ago, and all the pollination that's been going on has created lots and lots of berries. Wonderful for the birds during the winter. This is a little rowan tree. You can see some of the berries on that. And this is another little bit of the Cordata fulvida. Now, everything's growing very well for various reasons, but I think the main one being that I did spread lots and lots of the compost. Now, having said that, I've actually got some bins to empty, so I've got even more to spread. But look at this, this is wonderful. Now, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to just see if I can zoom in. This is a plum tree, and lo and behold, lots of plums on it. So that's the advantage of feeding your plants and your trees. I suppose in the same way as, you know, you feed your children, you feed yourselves, we feed each other. It's all about health and well-being. So I'm looking forward to quite a good harvest of plums, you know. There's my beautiful goddess. Goddess blessings. Goddess blessings to you all. Yes, as I said, there was so much rain, which is wonderful because it's just sweeping through the stream that runs from the spring well in the fairywood. It's wonderful. The sound, I think the sound of water trickling and running like that is very healing. It's very calming. And if it's calming, then it's healing. Because the body heals when it's at its most relaxed and calm. Beautiful sounds. Just before I sign off, because I've got absolutely masses and masses of work to do, unbelievable amounts of work. I have a rolling list. Sometimes I feel a wee bit overwhelmed by it all, you know, and then other times I just think to myself, well, this is the sort of thing that keeps me fed. It keeps me going, it keeps me invigorated and vital. But sometimes I do feel I need to have a little break. And so just before I sign off, I want to just show you just a little bit of what's happening down here in the lower woodland. As you can see, amazing growth. Just amazing. And yesterday, in between showers, I came down here to the to what was the pond, the big pond. It's now a very small pond beyond that purple beach. But I came down here and I was clearing the waterway. So you can just see some of the waterway that's been cleared because it became so overgrown. Now it's only a little temporary job. I will have to do some more permanent clearing. But I was walking through the paths and just thinking how amazing it all is. This regeneration. It's wonderful. Just wonderful. So there's so much to be thankful for. This woodland sanctuary is of course a food forest as well, as you could see from the plum tree there at the gate. But there are apple trees and plum trees and pear trees, elderberries, raspberries, blackcurrants, strawberries, blueberries, hazelnuts. There's so much going on here, and it's virtually all the year-round forage. And I haven't even touched on the incredible amount of wood and kindling that I am able to forage as well from this beautiful small holding. Oh, and did I mention mushrooms? Yeah. I've only touched on a few things. There's probably lots I haven't mentioned. Now, there should be a link below each and every video to my bookshop. So if you want to know more about Bealtaine Cottage, if you want to know about the first few years and the very beginning of the project, I have a book entitled A Cottage in 3 Acres. That's the first book I wrote. My second book, In Search of the Goddess Rising, is about the journey of realising that the earth is a living, sentient being, and the power of the divine feminine and the goddess within all that, and especially here in Ireland, which is always regarded as a feminine land, hence the title Mother Ireland. And my third book, although hopefully not the last, is Walking Between Worlds, and that explores the multi-layered world in which I now find myself here in the west of Ireland. So, right down to 10th century recordings of UFOs. Yes, amazing. Some very interesting discoveries, you know, things that we peel back, we peel the covers off bit by bit and come to realise that this is not this sort of it's almost like a one-dimensional world that we think we live in. And of course when we step out and into nature and embrace Gaia, we realise there's a lot more to the whole thing. A lot more. So anyway, blessings to you all. Have a lovely week. Today's Monday. I best get on with my work. So this was Bealtaine Cottage at the very beginning in 2004. This was the lane leading up to the cottage, as you can see. And this was the view from the front door. Well, it's a different view now.